Hey everyone, JT Goose here, and today I'm going over the fourth season of TCCG series, Modern Crimes. This season takes place in the year 2007 in the city Grimsboro, which sounds a little familiar. I don't know about you. With this season is a total of 6 districts. We have Skyline Front, Cultural Gallery, Police Station, Inner Harbor, Central Station, and Capital Area. There's a total of 31 cases, with 6 cases in the first district and 5 cases in every other. And with that, we're going to go over the season, talk about the good things, the bad things, kind of just like the highlights of the season, and just give my personal opinion. The best thing in my opinion about this season is the consistency. This is pretty much near perfection of consistency. I think every single district has something good of value. I feel like it was different in other seasons. I feel like in Secrets of Maxwell, it was a total mess. I feel like last season, Death City, the first half was really bad and the second half was super good. But with this entire season, it feels like the whole entire season from start to end is just really good. There's a lot of phenomenal victim choices, great killer choices. The murder weapons are pretty good, and I know there's still no plot writing, but it's still cool to see sort of criminals and unreleased killers appear more throughout the season, which makes me want to bring up a character known as Jake Bloom. In my opinion, this is my favorite character of the season. I just love his progression all the way throughout. He starts off, happy guy, a lot of hair, he's a free man. But you can kind of see throughout the season, he eventually becomes the killer, and you can kind of just sort of see his life fall apart. He loses his hair, he's growing facial hair, until he finally meets his demise and becomes the victim in a case. In my opinion, that's just super cool to see for a character. I think that's really appealing, and I don't know. I thought that was a really cool element that he added this season. I think the designs have seen a massive improvement. There's a lot less copy and pasting going on. It's not perfect still, but for the most part, it's all just original drawings, and the drawings that he's making are way better compared to the other 3 seasons. There also seems to be a lot more recurring characters as well, whether it being the victim choices or the killer choices, and I feel like that adds a lot of entertainment towards the viewer. Instead of just watching new victim, new killer, new victim, new killer, it's like you're getting suspects from other cases become suspects again, and victims and killers, and it's just cool. It's cool to see that. I was kind of tired of that whole new stuff for the last few seasons. It's cool to see recurring people appear way more often. The suspect poses during the season are okay. They're nothing crazy, but I do appreciate a lot of them. Some of them are different than others, and it's not like extreme over the top every single case, and it does feel pretty consistent. With that being said, there's also some issues I do have with this season that I am going to mention. Now, there was something I was thinking a while in terms of the character traits this season. I really wanted to smash down and kind of criticize TCCG for kind of just not making his own traits and just drawing them, but I kind of realized this is going to go on until like the Origins, and I don't feel like this should affect a score that I should give something just because the traits. Really, the whole point of me grading is how entertaining it is towards a viewer. So I'm not going to criticize or try to ruin a score just because he stole traits. But this will be a normality for quite some time. The last case of the season is kind of basic. I mean, it's pretty good, but not for like an actual finale of a season. This would make a really good district finale, like maybe like case 25, case 20, case 15, but not really a case 30. There also seems to be a pretty sure decline in the amount of antagonists that we've seen. Last season, we saw this huge antagonist group with a ton of different characters and a leader and a founder, which was really cool. But unfortunately with this season, there really isn't a lot of really antagonist or like a bad group of any sort. The most we really get to that is with this kind of whole gang thing that happens throughout like the first half of the season, but it kind of just fades away slowly. I mean, I guess you could say that the arrested killers that are in jail could be the antagonist group of the season, but I don't know, it just seems kind of weak for that. We also can't forget this one suspect, which yeah, it might have been a complete copy and paste, like, I mean, a complete copy and paste, but you know what? He's here, so what are we going to do about it? And obviously, last but not least, as always, there's really not any plot writing, any AIs, but we've kind of already gone through that throughout the past few seasons, so, I mean, that's just kind of normal at this point. With that, there really aren't too many issues with this season. The season is really solid, and I just enjoyed it for the most part. I didn't really see myself clicking through, trying to get through the end of the season. I actually was just looking at the season, enjoying it for one of the first times. With that, there are a ton of great suspects this season, so I'm going to go over some of the highlights. We got Jake Bloom, Courtney Baldwin, Jaden Clegg, Fabian Mark Holman, Courtney the Robot, which I thought had a really amazing design, Ronald Saylor, Brad Halliday, Zion Chin Ming, which another amazing design choice, Melissa McNally, and Stan Monroe. And I wanted to also give huge praise to Zachary Rutherford. For some reason in my original review, I did not include him as one of my highlights, which is stupid because he's like the antagonist of the season. And I'm also going to throw in Lil Jon in there as well. Once again, the season's characters are amazing with just better design choices, less copy and paste, and we don't have creepy characters like this guy trying to ruin my day. There are much more reoccurring characters, which I think kind of appeals the audience, because like when you see like an old suspect, you're like, hey, that's my guy, that's my goat, that's my goat. The best kill of the season goes to Case 27, which features a guy being killed to death using a laser. I'm not sure if it's a reference to like an actual like lightsaber from Star Wars, but regardless, the guy was a scientist, he got killed by a laser. I think that's cool. And the dual machete for the lamest kill goes to Case 19, in which a guy gets killed with a broom. I don't know. It's a bit basic. I mean, I feel like even a gun has more potential. It's just a broom. Like, what? I don't know. There's just not much special stuff going on. In my opinion, Modern Crimes gets a decent to a strong 5 on this one. Yes, there's no plot writing. Yes, there's no AIs, but the season itself is super phenomenal with amazing killer choices, amazing victim choices, and it really feels like every district has its own character to it. You know, it doesn't feel like you're just going through a whole season at once. It actually feels like a breakdown for once. And with Modern Crimes, it's awesome.